علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. سبحانك لا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك، أنت المقدم وأنت المؤخر وأنت على كل شيء قدير. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما واجعل التفرق بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تدع فينا شقيا ولا محروما. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most compassionate, the most merciful, all praise and thanks are due to him, and peace and blessings be upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He who is guided by the will of Allah, no one can misguide him, and he who is misguided, no one can guide him except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will continue with the very beautiful meanings. We spent many sessions talking about redirection, the redirection of the Qibla, if you know. One of the most important core points that we highlighted last time plus last times, that the core point is full obedience and submission to Allah. Whatever Allah asks Muslims to do, whatever He asks to do, وما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهما الخيرة من أمرهم. The core idea of the whole, basically, when Allah ordains something, asks something, Muslims, they have just one option, if they are Muslims. What is it?
Obey.
To obey. This is the idea. Plus, one of the great meanings we highlighted last times, that be careful. When you are asked to do something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the meaning فَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ, which indicates some people will have fear. Okay? Fear for many reasons. I will not be accepted. Different cultures. Like, for example, we are still in the context of the Halloween. Now, we are living in a country, to the best of my knowledge, they always are proud because they are, quote unquote, celebrating differences. True or false? Yeah. This is what's the claim. They celebrate differences. If that's true, from one angle, this is, let's say this is a culture. It's your turn to be proud of your identity. Now, the word the khashya, which means, okay, but what if, wait. It's your right. It's okay to be different. So please, don't have this kind of, I don't know how to call it, fear. Fala, don't have this kind of, there's no need. Be proud of your identity. This could be applicable in a very high level, and this could be applicable in a very simple cultural level. Some people, they feel afraid. Okay. I don't know how they will react, how they might understand me, so let my kids share. Hey, it contains satanic roots. The idea is not the concept of, no, this is something bigger. When you accept something has this root, this will affect the roots of the vision of your kids. This is part of فَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ. You got my point? I'm giving just because we are in the occasion of that. Anyway, we highlighted that last time and we finished. Today, I will be dealing with 2 or 3 verses. I will say them in Arabic, then I will give them general meaning in English, then we'll go in details, basically a word by word, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا. Look, you need to understand the Arabic language now. Allah, in many verses, kept talking about directing you, direct a Kaaba, be careful, do this for the sake of Allah, and then كَمَا, as well as we have done such and such. Now, أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِنَا. Now we will start a new phase, a new paragraph. This is the phase of where Allah is highlighting the blessings upon us now. And He's highlighting, showing, making us aware of what He already has done, and we need to be aware, and we have a duty towards these blessings. This is the core of our session today. Kama arsalna. So the core was redirection of the Kaaba, submission. Then Allah is collecting in my words. Hey, be careful. It's not just this. Be careful. I have already given you a lot of blessings. One of them, أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. Since we have sent you a messenger. So Allah is now counting, highlighting, okay, manifesting up to us the other. We have sent you a messenger from among yourselves, reciting to you our revelations, purifying you, teaching you the book and wisdom, and teaching you what you never knew. So we will come to break down each one of them. What does it mean? يَتْلُو, then يُعَلِّم, then يُزَكِّي. Then where is the blessing in this? Why Allah is indicating in specific? يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ, يُطَهِّرُكُمْ, يُزَكِّيكُمْ, يُعَلِّمُكُم. What does it mean? How I am as a Muslim should be highlighting or should be understanding this. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continued. قال فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون. Remember me, I will remember you, and thank me and never be ungrateful. So we have a commandment to be from the dhakirin, to do the dhikr. What is the dhikr? Okay, we will highlight the concept of dhikr and what does it mean and what we will get in return when we be from the dhakirin. What is the meaning of the shukr? Why Allah is commanding us and asking us to be from the shakirin? What does it mean to be from the shakirin? For today at least. يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. There is a great meaning in this ayah. Allah is commanding us to seek refuge, to use as a tool of support for us, sabr and salah. Sabr before the salah. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, all believers, seek comfort in patience and prayer. Allah is truly with those who are patient. So, why Allah started with patience? What is the definition of patience? We have levels, types, categories of patience. Has to do with what we call, for example, al-ta'ah and al-ma'siyah. So we will highlight these meanings as much as we can, inshallah. So we go back to the first one. كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا مِنْكُمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ. Do you remember the beauty of this? كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا مِنْكُمْ. Allah now is indicating, highlighting, manifesting to the surface and reminding us one of the greatest blessings, that the Prophet is among you. He came from you. He's not an alien. Which you know, you will feel comfort. You will have this kind of knowledge about how great he is. He speaks in your language. He's from your culture, which is a blessing. It's not something, it's like, it's like when I give you a piece of information as a test in your language, and something really you can comprehend easily. Now your job is just to study. You have no other, but if I give you in a language that you don't understand, what will happen to you? What kind of level of panic you will be facing? There is a test, no problem with the content, regardless, it's mathematics or physics or whatever. But in a language you don't understand. What's this? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting, He is from you. أرسلنا رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم أرسل فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا. So let's see now. I will be quoting today when I was preparing from Tafsir SWT. As I told you, most of the Tafsir, mainly, sometimes more than that, but mainly as long as I don't need something extra, I'm using 7 Tafsir. 2 in English, 5 in Arabic. The most that I use in Arabic, Tafsir al-Tabari, Qurtubi, Baghawi, Ibn Kathir, and al-Sa'di. If something that I could not comprehend, I go out and sometimes open as Zamakhshari and some other Mufassirin. Today, when I compared with the 5 Tafsir, I found the most one who comprehended most of the needed meaning in a simple way, Tafsir al-Sa'di. So I will be quoting part of his literal quotations to highlight them, because today we have a very specific, don't have a general meaning, we have a specific meaning. The meaning of the dhikr, the meaning of the sabr, the meaning of why. Where is the why? It's specific. We need to know them one by one. He says, يقول تعالى إن إنعامنا عليكم باستقبال القبلة وإتمامها بالشرائع والنعم المتممة ليس ببدع من إحساننا ولا بأوله. He's saying the meaning. He said, Allah is telling us, oh my servants, the fact that I'm asking you as a part of blessings to have your specific direction of the Kaaba, the uniqueness of your identity, which is part of the blessings, in addition to the legislations, the directions, the law, the teachings that I given to you, it's not something new completely or disconnected from other great blessings. قال بل أنعمنا عليكم بأصول النعم. However, we have already blessed you with the biggest foundations of the blessings. فأبلغها إرسالنا إليكم هذا الرسول الذي تعرفون نسبه وصدقه وأمانته وكماله ونصحه. The greatest before all of these things, we have given you the blessings of Prophet Muhammad, which you know how honest he is, how great he is. Where did he come from exactly? Because this is something very important, the purity of the context of this prophet. Because can you imagine if Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came out of nowhere and he has no backing system, i.e. tribalism, for example? If he does have, at least you say, hey, what do you think you are? Who gave you authority to speak with us? Go away. It's the blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال يتلو عليكم آياتنا. Now he says, السعدي, وهذا يعم الآيات القرآنية وغيرها فهو يتلو عليهم الآيات المبينة للحق من الباطل والهدي من الضلال. Now he is يتلو. Now then we will talk about ويعلمكم. يتلو, now he's telling you just the first level. He's just giving you the knowledge which helps you to distinguish between حق and batil, hadi and dalal, guidance from the misguidance. Now, first of all, imagine if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not, try to imagine by the way, we can use this amazing faculty, the imagination. Try to imagine now that Allah did not send Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Humanity still with all the corrupted previous religions, no one knows what or who and why. How many ijtihad and human way of thinking and explanation, what should we do, we will be facing now. Can you imagine? Anything will be justifiable. By the way, if you remember when we were talking about the criteria, that we are the criteria, our system is what? There is something that humanity can refer to, not change yet, no corruption. This is the biggest blessings. The fact that, not you to be proud with it, no. I mean, to feel really very happy in a good sense, that you have this system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guaranteed, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. So because sometimes, still always anyone will have the fear. How can I know that, who can guarantee to me that this will be preserved? How can I, no, this is not your job, don't worry. Just commit yourself. Don't worry about this. Allah did not give this guarantee for previous religions by His wisdom. So therefore they were corrupted, simply corrupted. And we can bring things of evidences about the corruption. Now no one can play with this system. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is yatlu alayhim. The fact, tlawa, telling you the knowledge now. You don't know, you were unaware, you became aware now. From the source. What is right and what is wrong. Like, for example, imagine yourself to know the ni'mah. By the way, sometimes we can't realize the ni'mah unless if we imagine what could have happened if this did not happen by the very beginning. Imagine yourself getting into chemistry lab for the first time in your life. You have no idea about the directions, the teachings, the guidelines, how to deal with the chemicals. What could happen? You just please go wild. No idea. Nothing at all. No one told you that some of the chemical liquids, they might kill you literally. They might burn your skin and kill you. Is it possible? It's chemistry lab. It contains exploding liquids if they are mixed in the wrong way. Some of them, they produce gases that could kill you in seconds. So okay, they are there for your benefit. But if you have no guidance, what to touch, what not to touch, generally, just the knowledge. I'm not talking to make it easy. Chemistry lab is basically is the dunya. Getting into the lab with the guidance at tilawa now. Just to tell you, be careful. We are not discussing with you, we are not giving you the justification, we are just telling you. يَتْلُو عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِهِ. He came and telling you, right, wrong, be careful, something. Okay? Guidelines. Don't touch any liquid in the red, for example, let's say drawer. Any liquid. Any liquid with the sign of X, background yellow, it's written in black, don't touch it. Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
Yes.
Yes. But I was told, don't touch it. Be careful, poisoning, killing, whatever. I can't touch it. But I was told, khalas. If I decided to touch it, now I'm a bad, evil person. Good? طيب. What if, okay, حر, I want to lose my hand. طيب, what if you cause the loss of others? No, personal freedom. لا حبيبي. There is, personal freedom بقى دلوقتي. By the way, this is a common sense. Others must stop you or you will harm them. Got my point? This is the first level of yatlu. You need to understand. But because, where's the blessings in yatlu? I'm telling you, giving you knowledge. Giving you knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, don't ever drink alcohol. Because by the way, by Allah, if it is left to human beings, can many human beings justify that alcohol is okay, for example? Do we witness that? It's one of the biggest industries on earth. It brings trillions, not billions now. Because it's up to human beings. When you lose the guidance of revelation, you can do anything. Literally anything. So this is the first level of blessings. Yatlu. Yatlu means tell you. Tell you. Just telling you the information. Number one. Number two, level 2 of blessings. قال يتلو عليكم آياته ويزكيكم. So this tilawa, i.e. knowledge from the source about what should be done, what should not be done, they are designed in a way to do tazkiyah. Yatlu wa yuzakki. Okay? So what is tazkiyah? Tazkiyah, used with the meaning, the same source, it's called the word zakah. Zakah, yazku zakawa, zakatan tazkiyatan. It has 2 origins, 2 root verbs, 2 radicals. قال النماء والتطهير. 2 meanings, which is what? Growing, raising, and purification, cleansing. So the system contains knowledge, came through tilawa, through awareness, spreading ma'lumat, knowledge. This knowledge is designed in a way by the manufacturer, i.e. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the first great things to help you to be raised in a right way, plus tazkiyah, to purify you with the general meaning, any possible meaning of tazkiyah, purification. The Mufassir says, قال أن يطهر أخلاقكم ونفوسكم, to purify your manners, your ethics, and yourselves. بتربيتها على الأخلاق الجميلة. Doing yourself to raise yourself up according to the good manners. قال وتنزيه عن الأخلاق الرذيلة, and you protect yourself from the opposite vices. قال كتزكيتكم من الشرك إلى التوحيد ومن الرياء إلى الإخلاص ومن الكذب إلى الصدق ومن الخيانة إلى الأمانة ومن الكبر إلى التواضع. He gave examples to purify. Purify from what? Basically, purifying indicates that you have something what? Dirty. When I say I want to cleanse myself, indicates by default what? I have already some kind of dirt, some kind of bad things. When I go to the shower, basically, the fact that I need a shower indicates by default that what? I have already sweat, I have a bad smell. I have a lot of things on my body. I want to get rid of them. This is a cleansing. This is a the physical meaning, okay? Like my heart needs to be purified. Purified from what? Bad meanings, ghiba, backbiting, namima, hatred, envy, jealousy. I need to say, for example, to listen to the Quran, to listen to this meaning, Hadith Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, to purify him. Don't worry. ما أصابك لم يكن ليخطئك وما أخطأك لم يكن ليصيبك. Be careful. لو أن الأمة اجتمعت على أن يضروك. For example, I have a problem. I have this kind of jealous envy. I want, why he, why me? Wait. When I say, وَأَعْلَمْ. Be aware. If the whole ummah, every single person, they were gathered with all of their powers to harm you, unless Allah permits for His wisdom, no one can harm you. So, take it easy. Have a peace of mind. Do your job. Don't worry. This is purification for the heart. You see? Or I sinned. I did something bad. I do whatever. I want to repent. I'm on a very shaky ground. I'm not sure if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept my repentance. I was very bad with my parents. I make a theft. I hit someone without whatever. So I want to repent. قل يا عبادي الذين أسرفوا على أنفسهم لا تقنطوا من رحمة الله إن الله يغفر الذنوب جميعا. All my servants, don't ever be desperate from my mercy. Whatever you have done, I will accept you. I'm giving you the meaning of the physical and the mental or intellectual purification. Okay, يزكيكم. Now the Mufassir جزاه الله خير, he gave us more than an example to give you. Because قال طهركم من الشرك إلى التوحيد. Now Arabs, the majority of them, except a very small minority, they were in what we call now atheists. Hardly you can count them by your fingers of one hand. The majority of them, they were what? Mushrikeen. Mushrik means admits the existence of Allah, admits that Allah is the creator, and admits Allah is Razzaq. Am I saying this from myself or it's in the Quran? وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ من خلق السماوات والأرض لا يقولون الله ولئن سألتهم من خلق السماوات والأرض وسخر الشمس والقمر لا يقولون. عند another آية قال وما نعبدهم إلا ليقربونا إلى الله زلفى. From an angle, all the Arabs, or the majority, they admitted the existence, the power, the rizq, and everything. But they were what? Associating, given the right of Allah, the status of Allah, the majesty of Allah for something, someone, whatever else. By this, they were what? Cool, not cool believers? Do you think they were cool believers? Maybe. You never know. Who gave you the right not to call them cool believers? Who gave you the rights? Maybe they are cool believers. Do you have a right to don't be judgmental? صح؟ هلا Subhanallah. By the way, I'm not judgmental. Allah is the one who gives the judge. Allah called them mushrikeen and kuffar, and Allah promised them with the eternal hellfire. It's not me. By the way, it's not my decision. If it's up to me, maybe I will decide to be a cool Muslim. Maybe. Who knows? But as long as I want to submit myself to the will of Allah, it's not I don't have the right to play dirty game with what Allah is indicating clearly. Anyway, we are talking about tazkiyah. Tazkiyah from shirk to tawheed. Now, you are created. Your original status should be muwahhid, not to worship. By the way, the core point of tawheed, you need to know, it's not to think that Allah is one. Be careful. This is a big misunderstanding. We all know that Allah is one. By the way, Kuffar Quraysh, they knew that Allah is one. So don't let anyone play this dirty game with you. MashaAllah, as long as no, Habibi, no. It is a matter of what? Submission and obedience for this one. Be cheerful. You know cheerful? Be what?
Cheerful.
Cheerful. Yes? This is Palestinian English.
Fallahi.
Yes, fallahi. That's, yeah. Be cheerful. And if we added the Khalili accent, be cheerful ya Khali. Okay? Wallahi, okay, it's just my style. I mean, the idea of Tawheed, the obedience, not just the knowledge. That's why the name of our religion is Islam, not Iman. Are you with me? So, طهركم. We are talking about تزكية now. زكيكم from shirk to توحيد. قال اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. No, still I'm talking about تزكية. So, now, you know, Algerian people. يلا انجز. إن شاء الله عليك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. قال ومن الرياء إلى الإخلاص. From showing off to the pure sincerity for the sake of Allah. The majority of people, if they don't know their Lord, they are living in a way showing off. It's not your reality. And one of the biggest examples in our time, what we call celebrities, social media, very famous actors. To the best of your knowledge, when you dig in depth about the reality of many celebrities, is it true that what you see is what is the reality behind the scenes? No. I'm not exaggerating if I say I'm not just celebrities, even because now everyone in the TikTok can be a celebrity just by doing a very odd, weird, haram, strange thing. Just millions. Now, with regard to sisters, Allah ysamihum, just to take off the hijab, and millions like that, okay? I decided to take, يا عمي بدك take off أبو أم الحجاب. طب take the hijab وخليك ببيتك. يعني إيش دخلنا? Why you are telling us you have decided to take off the hijab? But however, you will see the followers of Mr. Iblis will be equal like. Okay. You think she's happy? No. I swear by Allah, I don't know the ghaib, but I know from the rules. Wallahi, she's not happy. By the way, if I want to be a little bit cool psychiatrist, you know what she's doing? Why she's doing this? She's seeking support for her bad, evil decision. She wants someone to give her the support because she knows she's not doing the right thing. This is the psychological analysis in depth. Now, because when I do something for the sake of Allah and I feel completely with full tranquility, who cares to tell anyone? Why? Why should I? Imagine just yourself. If you are sitting alone in the masjid, for example, and for whatever reason, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you this kind of spiritual power, you started crying for the sake of Allah. Because, for example, you thought the Jannah, for example. So imagine, that you thought, for example, about the Jannah. If you cried for this, do you think you will be more happy قال ومن الكذب إلى الصدق من الكذب إلى الصدق. He's continuing saying that he was purifying you from the status of lying to the status of saying the truth. قال ومن الخيانة إلى الأمانة. You know? خيانة, Ya Allah, traitorship. We know it on the level of the politics or political levels. But this is applicable on every one of us. خيانة الأمانة. You know? The trust. Being trustworthy. This is one of the greatest attributes of Muhammad ﷺ. Because of them, no one was daring to say anything bad about him. No, they could not. He was named as Sadiq al-Amin. Amin, Amana. إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ. By the way, the meaning of amana in this ayah, I remember that we studied that it was 23 different possible meanings for the word amana. One of the strongest explanation of the amana, which is, you know what is it? The optional obedience. Amana, which means Allah honored you that He He gave you the right to say no for Him. One of the amazing things now, 99%, if not 100% of the people who are fighting, when you ask them, regardless where they are, what religion they follow, what culture they belong to, when you ask them why you are fighting, freedom, 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 freedom. Allah gave you the freedom to say no for Him.
Sorry?
Allah gave you the freedom to say no for Him. I have the power to say no for Allah. Allah tells me, Usud, I created you, I want to say. How many of us practically say no? How many? Allah say, don't be rude with your parents. How many of Muslims they are bad with their parents? Allah said, don't drink alcohol. How many of us practically, what do we say? We don't care. We are rejecting. I mean, this is the amana, by the way. The amana, because freedom, yes, you have the freedom. Okay, take your decision and I will account. Okay. So, this is the highest, by the way, level of honor. You have the freedom. Take a decision. You are not like a piece of, you are not a rock. You are not a stone. You are, by the way, you are much more great than the sun. The sun can't help stopping or moving, its movement. You can stop doing anything Allah is commanding you. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, the one of us can commit blasphemy. You know this terminology, blasphemy? شتم الذات الإلهية. سب الرب. And how many people, by the way, in Arab countries especially, Jordan, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, to the best of my knowledge, these 5 countries, it's very common for youth in the street, when they fight, when they do, if they are angry, they do what? سب الرب. They swear at Allah. أعوذ بالله. It's easy. And they have now upgraded system now. They are not when they are angry, when they make jokes, سب الرب. What's this? Now, we need to understand. قال ومن الكذب ومن الخيانة إلى الأمانة ومن الكبر إلى التواضع. One of the worst morals and manners Arabs, they used to have what? Arrogance. Arrogance. By the way, the concept of slavery basically is based on what? Racism. Racism is based on what? Arrogance. Arrogance. You see yourself better. On what base? That's why if it's up to you and me, once I have the power, I will enslave you. You will enslave me. And this is what happened wherever you go during the history. That's why we need a criteria from outside us. That's why the revelation came and say, Inna akramakum indallahi. What? The most beautiful color? The most beautiful colored eyes? No. The most honored, the highest status according to Allah is what? Atqakum. Those who are mindful, fearful, respectful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the criteria. This is our criteria, not the color, not the race, not your country, not your shape, not your no, nothing at all. That's why really you must be proud of Islam. You can tell some other religions, even with the peak of their power, racism, it was part of their every single aspect of their lives. While Islam came, was fighting slavery in an amazing way. Many of them used to be slaves, they became big scholars in Islam. Where do you find this? You can't find it. By the way, that's why Islam will prevail. قال بعز عزيزنا وبذل ذليل. Whether you loved or not, Islam will prevail. Islam will be spread. Just as I always say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained that this Islam, inshallah, will reach every place on earth, and it has the power. But it's like a train that stops, by stations. When the train stops, it's up to you. The train will will open the doors for a limited time. It's a metaphor. It's your decision to take a decision by your pure will to get into the train, or to say, no, this is not what I want. I want something else. Face the consequences of your decision. You decided to go with another train. This is the train of Allah, if I may put it in this way. Yes, others, they have trains. Communism, they have their own train. Yes. Agnosticism, they have their own train. Materialism, they have, yes. Satanicism, everyone. Okay, take your decision. This is the train of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Based on respecting Allah, believing in Allah, the oneness of Allah, applying His command, not up to you, not to keep saying and doing, well, I think, I feel. No, not I think and I feel. What haram is haram. That's it. You have no room, no space to play games within it. That's it. If you accept this, please come to our train. Alcohol is prohibited. That's it. Don't discuss. But world economy, we don't care with the world economy. What haram is haram. According to world economy, many countries, they use prostitution as part of their national income. It's unacceptable in Islam. Even if we are dying, even of half, 75 of the nation will lose their lives, and the only way to save us economically is to let, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, to let our daughters, our wives, our sisters to work in prostitution. We must die and not to allow this. You need to understand, this is the meaning of awamirullah, this is the meaning of the hadd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have no right to interfere. If you accept this, you are in the train of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, metaphorically. Okay? Unless some people will go and say, Sheikh says there's a train for Allah. La hawla wa la quwwata. This is a metaphor, okay? Don't take it out of context, okay? أقسم بالله, I heard him saying the train of Allah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You know this mashayikh, when they come to Canada, they lose their mind because of English. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Astaghfirullah al-azim. والله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. قالوا من الكبر إلى التواضع ومن سوء الخلق إلى حسن الخلق وإلى تواصل تهاجر تقاطع etc. قال ويعلمكم الكتابة. By the way, I will finish just one ayah, inshallah, okay? I will not take the other ayah. I wasn't expecting that it will take that time. قال ويعلمكم الكتابة. Number one, يتلو. Look now, tilawa, just to tell you. Now, tazkiyah, we have the idea. Now, تعليم يعلمكم الكتابة والحكمة. Now, تعليم, more in depth explanations. Some of the mufassirin, they said تعليم الكتاب contains the sunnah. Because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sent to explain, actually, the valid sunnah, the true sunnah, the sahih sunnah, the authentic sunnah is part of the whole Islam. We know that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُ. Whatever Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came to you by my commandments, take it. Whatever he تعليم, now more in depth, more in details, to know in details. قال والحكمة. قال والحكمة معرفة أسرار الشريعة والفقه فيها. Now the very in-depth wisdom of them, because you know the knowledge, you have levels of knowledge. Sometimes like let's go to the chemistry lab to make it easy for you. Chemistry lab, tilawa, just to give the guidelines. Okay? Ta'aleem, I will give you more training how to deal with the chemicals, what to do, how to mix, what you could be expecting or should be expecting when you mix this component with that level, what could be happening. Now I give you the knowledge and the training in the middle. Al-Hikmah, when you became experts in creating new materials to solve the problems of the people. It's very, very high. So the beginning, you need to know the knowledge. Then the training, you have knowledge in depth. Then Hikmah. The highest. وَمَنْ أُوتِيَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. The one who was given the wisdom, he was taking the greatest level that you can ever imagine of the khayr and of goodness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ja'alna minan hakimin. قال وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. Now this ayah is finished, and I finished this ayah with this. قال Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He taught you, قال, reciting to you our revelations, purifying you, teaching you the book and wisdom, and teaching you what you never knew. وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. قال لأنهم كانوا قبل بعثته في ضلال مبين لا علم ولا عمل. فكل علم أو عمل نالته الأمة فعلى يده صلى الله عليه وسلم وبسببه كان هذه النعم هي من أصول النعم على الإطلاق. So وَيُعَلِّمُكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. After reciting, the tilawa, of talking about the tilawa and the ta'lim and the tazkiyah and the great, then be aware, you were knowing nothing. And by the way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the greatest ni'am from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala above every single person of us, basically the knowledge. Because by the knowledge, that's why the first ayah was in the Quran is what? Iqra. This is the tool of seeking the knowledge. Otherwise, that's why I used to make like a very quick, sense of humor and a joke, indirect way in teaching my students at the first year. First year we call them in Jordan Smurfs, Sanafir. Always first year students, they have just left the high school. And they come all they are scared, afraid, they don't know what to ask, what to say, what to do, So we call them in the Jordanian culture, Sanafir, Smurfs. You know Smurfs? Yes, sir. It's just a metaphor. Most of the second year, third year, fourth year, they make jokes against them. So one of the jokes that I do with the first year, when they come to the Sharia college, they have this kind of, Sharia faculty for Muslims like the Vatican for Catholics. You see what you say? Wow, it's the way it contains the knowledge and something. So they don't expect that the doctor of Sharia will make jokes with them, but it's my way to fix the knowledge. I told them, okay, I will see the level of knowledge that you have. I want to see the level of cleverness and memorization that you have. What is the first ayah was revealed in the Quran? Is it Usjud or U'bud? I give them just two options. I said, Usjud or U'bud? They look at each other. It's not, what's Usjud or U'bud? I say, some of them they say, it's Iqra. I say, yes, it's Iqra. So all of them they shake like this. Yes. Because, for 2 to 3 seconds, I put them in doubt. Like, this is teaching by chalk. You make a chalk for them. You say, I said, even though the ultimate goal in Islam is what? Ya'budun. However, the first ayah, Iqra, because if there is no Iqra, there is no ibadah, no sujud. You see? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَعَلَّمَكُمْ مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. That's why you must feel proud about the knowledge that we have in Islam. By the way, we have a knowledge that no one else has. Literally, the knowledge that we have inside the Quran, the knowledge that was concluded from Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was not a genius, clever Arab was trying to put theories how to fix the world. No. He was telling us what Allah has taught him as a guidelines to fix the problems. It's not a try and error. It's not a computer program by a genius computer programmer. His name is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was trying to. No. They are designed already, and definitely they do fix your problems. So we have them, and you have the trust, no corruption, completely preserved. You must feel proud. By the way, if you don't know this, and you don't have this attitude and this feeling, basically the value will be lost. You need to know that. وَيُعَلِّمُكُم مَا لَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْلَمُونَ. And we speak about the knowledge. The Quran, the biggest knowledge of guidance. How to fix your relation with the one who created you, and how to prepare yourself for the akhirah. Number one. However, it contains a lot of other knowledges. And as always, I repeat, always, I did it maybe I think 15 times. Wallah, literally. Just to remind you, even it contains, 6,400 or 300 verses in the Quran. Around 94,000 words, 114 chapters. They contain about more than 1,000 verses. They discuss, they refer, they talk, they highlight about what we call now applied science. It's not a book of science, but it contains messages, indications. سنريهم آياتنا في الآفاق وفي أنفسهم حتى يتبين لهم أنه الحق. We will show them. Them is a general on anyone on earth to the day of judgment. We will show them our signs in the horizons and in themselves, till it becomes crystal clear for every one of them that this is the haqq. This is iqamat al-hujjah, establishing the argument about anyone. Like Steve Jobs, Stephen Hawking, Richard Dawkins, they know. They know. And may Allah be with them when they face Him. سنريهم آياتنا, we will show them. They know. You see? حتى يتبنى عنه الحق. So you need to know that. If you don't know, please seek the knowledge. Do you remember the person that I always highlight? Richard Varley. Please go and listen to his video. It's less than, I think, 15 minutes or less. Richard Varley, the one who was a colonel in the British counter-terrorism police in 1989 at the time of the affair of Salman Rushdie. He was asked to take care of Muslims or to prevent Muslims from doing problems in the streets of London as a reaction to Salman Rushdie. It was about more than 33 years. So he had no idea about Muslims. He's a colonel in the police, in the counter-terrorism unit. But when he graduated from university, he had double major, geology and physics. So when he was asked to be in charge of the people on the street, and he knew that they are Muslims, he decided just to read something about Muslims, because he had no idea about what a Muslim is or who Muslims are at all. So he brought a copy from the Quran. He started reading by his words. I'm just quoting 90% of his literal words. He said, I came across a verse, says in English, أولم يرى الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كانتا رتقا ففتقناهما وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. Have the non-believers not witnessed? Look, have not witnessed. Allah knows who will discover this to be an argument against them. Have the non-believers witnessed? Look, witnessed, which means the knowledge will give them the power to know the thing as if they have witnessed it by the mathematical calculations. Have they not witnessed that heavens and earth, they were one mass and we split them into pieces? He stopped. He said, look, this description is exactly what we call now, 30 years ago, as the Big Bang Theory. Because Big Bang Theory, they believe that the whole universe, they were just one atom, one piece, one whatever, one mass, and they explode like this, and they are just, this is what they say. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this in the Quran. Then, it was, it made a click in his mind. Then he continued. He came across another ayah. وَالسَّمَاءَ بَنَيْنَاهَا بِأَيْدٍ وَإِنَّا لَمُوسِعُونَ. Verily indeed, we have created heavens by might, and we are still expanding it. He said, we have just discovered less than 100 years ago through the Hubble telescope and his colleagues, we discovered just decades of years that the universe is expanding. Because they discovered, for example, the light, everything is moving. He said, well, how did Muhammad know that? How did the Quran know that? Then he came to the third ayah that really it took him down. خلاص يعني استوى. You know استوى؟ استوى كيف نترجمها هاي؟ well done؟ لا well done بالطبيخ هذا. well done بالشوي. ايش؟ No, which means he was completely overwhelmed and he accepted the reality. He had not even one single point of rejection. This is Jordanian sawa. Okay? Okay. Huh? Not cooked. Okay, definitely not well done grilled. Okay? No. Okay. The third one. He came to the third one. His major is geology and physics. So he came to the Waljibala Awtada. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we have made mountains like wedges or pegs. Which, his major is geology. He said, we have just discovered about 30 years ago, early 60s at that time, that when you have a cross section to the earth, you will discover that the mountain, like they say, for example, basically, just maybe 10, 15%, 12% of them in the top of the surface, and the rest is what? Underneath the surface. He said, how did the Quran know that? I have just studied this just a few years ago. We have just discovered this 30 years ago, early 60s. Then he said his very famous, amazing statement. He said, this book is impossible to be but from a divine being. It's impossible. By the way, he knew nothing about Muhammad. He knows nothing about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just read, this is my point. Just by reading the book, 3 scientific verses, he decided to declare that this book is from Allah. And he became a Muslim. I'm just giving you an idea. When you just, please pay attention to this, especially in the West here. Many people, when they say, hey, prove me, don't waste your time. I will not waste my time. This book is 1400 years ago. It contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You tell me, how do you think desert man, his name is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for you he's not a prophet, okay, where did he bring this knowledge from? Let him think. And many people, they come to the khayr, to the truth. How did this Quran know, or it's from Muhammad that, Muhammad, that when we go up, the oxygen level will be less, and it was prescribed and described exactly, يجعل صدره ضيقا حرجا كأنما يصعد في السماء. Allah described those non-believers, their likeness like the one who is ascending in the sky, finding difficulties in breathing, which means finding difficulties, even he talked about the graduality of ascending. يصعد في السماء. We discovered now that when you go up, the oxygen will not disappear just suddenly, but what? Gradually. The percentage of the oxygen with each layer will be less. So you can go up without oxygen, no problem. Then you can. That's why when they go to Everest. Mount Everest. Because of the less level of oxygen, they must stay in camps. Let's say for, I don't know how many thousands. 8,000 or 11,000? 8,000 meter. 8,000 meter. Can you imagine that? By the way, the airplanes, when they move up between 8 to 12,000. Most of them. Which means you can say to them, you can see him. Okay? In normal, commercial.
I'm not saying 10,000. 13, 14. 13,000 feet. 10,000.
13 or 30?
Like 13,000 meters or 40,000 feet.
And up. Oh, no problem.
30,000 feet.
No, he's talking 13, 1, 3. Not 30. Okay.
45,000.
Which is close. I said between. Anyway, this is not my point. My point.
It's not 45,000 yesterday.
The point. You can keep going up, and you will have less oxygen. This is described in the Quran. How did Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam know? And you can keep going on with 1,000 verse. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He challenged the people about the fingerprints. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say?
Nobody has the same.
الآية اللي نسيتها بالعربي. لا بالعربي تكون آية. هلا بنسوي بداية الآية. لا إله إلا الله. Yes, what's the beginning of الآية? لا أقسم بيوم القيامة ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوامة أيحسب الإنسان أن لن نجمع عظامه بلى قادرين على أن نسوي بنانه. We are able to shape and reshape his fingerprints. Who on earth at that time knew anything about fingerprint? Which is a unique identity for every single person. By the way, we can keep giving you examples up to the morning if you want to pray the Fajr here. Wallahi. But just please know about this, read about this, feel proud, tell others, and spread the knowledge and the khair. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم كثيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا.